Okay, we are live.
Are we live already?
Yes, we are.
Awesome. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Good evening, Aya. Nice seeing your face. How are you today? Can you hear me, Aya?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good evening. How are you today?
I'm awesome.
Yeah, good evening, everyone. Nice to be here once again. It's exactly a month we
Yeah.
had the Bloom Lounge, the January edition, and this is the February edition. I want to say that it's such a privilege to see yet another last Thursday of the month. And with that, we are grateful to God for the gift of life. We are so grateful for the gift of life. And I hope you're also grateful for the gift of life. Whatever it is you're going through, appreciation, gratitude is all you need to put in your mouth. Remember the last session we had with Praise Fowowe, where
Yes.
he spoke about the power of gratitude. How that gratitude, when you are grateful to what God has done and has not done, you are indirectly calling God's attention to that which you desire, and He will bring it to you. And so I am reminding you again today that whatever it is, always remember to be grateful to God. And that is why I am starting today's show by saying that I'm grateful to God for the gift of life, grateful to God for the country, Nigeria, grateful to God for our families, grateful to God for our leaders. Yes, we are grateful to God for Ukraine. We are grateful to God for Russia. We are grateful to God for Putin because we know that God is still interested in everything that is happening. I am grateful to God for this show, the Balanced Me Lounge, and I am welcoming you all to the Balanced Me Lounge. Thank you very much for always watching. Thank you very much for always joining in. And thank you very much for always following us. We really are grateful for you. Thank you for the gift of you because without you, there's no Balanced Me show. And so we are grateful. I'm grateful for Aya Lawrence. I'm grateful for Ebu Fawale. I'm so grateful. You know, after the January edition, gratitude have just come to me so easily. I just feel like everything I do, I just give God all the glory. And the truth is, I am seeing the results. I see the result. At times that it seems as if it is so difficult, and instead of saying, God, I want you to do, I just say, God, I'm grateful for where I am. God, I'm grateful for that which you're about to do. And it's just like magic. And I want you to remain in that state of gratitude. If possible, like we discussed the last time, you should have your journal of gratitude. Very
Yeah.
important. Every night I write 12 things I am grateful for. It has become a lifestyle. So I will encourage us to make gratitude our lifestyle. Today we are discussing the power of connection, right? The right connection, because it is very important. The other day we're discussing in a group how that sometimes we just expect that it is a particular person that God will use for us. And God does not work that way. God uses anybody. He can use a Buddhist for you, he can use a Muslim. As a Muslim, he can use a Christian to answer your need, to respond to your need. And so there's a need to pay attention to connection, and not just any kind of connection. We are talking about the right connection. There's a right connection. There are some people you connect with, there are some people you sit with, there are some places you find yourself, And by the time you're leaving the place, you're drained.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's not a good connection. You have to be in the place where the people in that place are adding value to you and you are also adding value to them. You don't want to be in a place where your energy is being drained. You don't want to be in the midst of energy vampires. And that is why we are discussing this, the right connection. And today we don't have any special guests. I have my own sister from another mother who is going to share from her wealth of experience what connection is, what a right connection is, the things you need to understand about relationship, and how to go about operating in that state and finding yourself in the right with the right set of people. And this sister of mine is nobody else but Aya Lawrence. You can see the way I'm pronouncing her name, Aya Lawrence. She has been a source of joy, a source of happiness, a source of encouragement. And connecting with her for me is a right connection because we have gone a long way. You will not believe that it's not up to 2 years that we met. Okay, maybe it's going to be 2 years in March that we met, and we've done a lot of wonderful things together. And that is what the right connection means. So, ladies and gentlemen, while you get ready with your questions, while you get ready with your comments, while we read all those comments and your questions, I want you to make welcome to the microphone, Ayo Lawrence. Hi, sis. You can have the mic.
Hello. How are you?
Hi. Awesome.
It's been, like you said, it's been 1 month. And I can remember I was
Yeah.
in Nori, Kwara State, Nigeria,
Yeah.
West Africa, Africa, some
Yeah.
1 month ago. And we're so grateful we are here again today for our balanced me show in our balanced, in our lounge, and in our balloon lounge. And one of the things I always remind myself is when we talk of the balanced me show, we're talking about love, we're talking about life, and everything in between. Love, life, in between. And today we are talking about the power of meaningful connections. Like Ebon said, we talked about the power of gratitude last month. And for me, for a long time, that has been my lifestyle. Gratitude, gratitude, gratitude. And even when I have a need, I've learned to wrap that need in gratitude. I've learned to just thank God for the need met. And I found out that even when I'm leaving the place of prayers, as it were, I'm just excited at the release of that particular thing to me. So I just want to encourage as many people as are online, as are joining us today, that gratitude is something that we must always, always, engage in. So the power of meaningful connection. I can remember the first time I heard this word was actually 2019. And I heard it from a dear friend of mine, meaningful connections. And that has actually stayed with me. So when we're talking about meaningful connection, we're talking about, you know, people that you are joined with and the association is profitable for both yourself and the other party. So it's not a one way thing. It's not that someone is parasitic on the other. The two of you are benefiting from the relationship. And one of the things I tell people is as many people that come your way, don't discount the relationship. Never you discount the relationship because you never know where you will need each other along the line. Today it may seem, oh, it's that person, that needs you. Tomorrow it may be you that need the person. So it is very important that whatever relationship or whatever connection we have, we keep it and never we shut the door. You know, some people, when they get to meet other people, when they are done with them, as it were, they just slam the door thinking that's it. So when we're talking about meaningful connections, we are talking about relationship, that are both beneficial to all the parties involved. So it's not that someone is just using the other one. No, everybody is benefiting from the relationship. Let me give an example level. We met not up to 2 years. And the thing is, over the last few months that we've been in relationship, I've benefited from you, you've benefited from me. We've had times we sat together. How do we do this? How do we do that? How do we handle a particular thing? And we've been able to find out, solutions to whatever it is we are trying to work on at a particular point in time. And the truth is, in the course of the relationship, I wouldn't say I haven't done some things that you weren't pleased with. I would have done some things, said some things that you weren't pleased with. You have done some things, said some things that I wasn't pleased with. But the thing is, in the course of the relationship, we are looking beyond what has happened now. We are looking at why are we in the relationship in the first place. And the why that I just said now, it is one word that everybody on this planet Earth must always ask. That's why question. So before I can say a relationship, a connection is meaningful, why am I in that relationship in the first place? Why? Why? And I tell people from time to time, you need to audit your relationship. Whatever relationship is not taking you to where you're going to, by all means, bring out your axe and cut off. Bring out your sword and take it away. You must be able to have a goal as regards different areas of your life. And the things or the people that are not taking you in that direction, you take them off. It's not that you're not being nice to them. But in this season, you're realizing the fact that, you know what? You're not taking me to where I'm going to. So this connection, this relationship is not meaningful at this point in time. You find out that when you engage in meaningful relationships, you move faster, you go farther, you conserve your energy. So those are the power, those are the things that happen when you are in meaningful relationship. You go faster because you guys are discussing things that are relevant. You are not finding yourself talking about things that are draining you. Like Ebon said, there are some people, when you meet with them, by the time they are leaving you, you are worse off. You just look at yourself and you said, what on earth? How on earth did I find myself having conversations with this person? So those are the things we need to look at as we build relationship with people. Is this person draining me? Is this person moving me towards what I really want to achieve on earth? Or this person is drawing me away? This person is draining me. This person is making me to be less than, who I am. There was like a skit that I listened to at a point in time, and the man was saying that if you enter a room and there are people that make your face to light up, those are the people you should always surround yourself with. But if you're in a room and you enter a room and there are people that make you feel less than a human being, carry yourself and leave. Those are not meaningful connections. Those are not connections that will take you to where you ought to be. So we need to, from time to time, look at our lives and say, okay, what am I doing? Where am I? Who are the people in my circle? Part of the things that I've learned, in what I do is we have the people in your the people in your inner caucus, the holy of holies. Then you have the people in your outer court, those who are not so close to you. And you have the people in your holy of holies, the people that are really, really close to you, the people that you need to move close to yourself. And from time to time, we need to do this. Because the people that you connect with, the people that you move with, determine the trajectory of one's life. It determines where you're going. It determines how far you're going. It determines how fast you're going. So when you have people in your circle and you've connected with them meaningfully, you find out that your life begins to reflect that which you desire it to be. Everything that each and every one of us need to be the best we've been created to be inside. And even as we relate with people, it affects the outcome at the end of the day. So if you're connecting with people and all they do is they talk about other people, they pull other people down, you just find yourself that your life begins to move in that direction. And you keep complaining, 24 hours, what's happening? How did I spend my day? And at the end of the day, nothing to show for it. One of the things want each and every one of us to do is to look at, just take time and look at your daily routine and look at the people that you spend your time with and check, are these people really, really are they going where I'm going? This will really, really help. I take people through goal scoring, and part of the things I tell them to do is audit look at your routine. And after that, audit your relationship. Audit your relationship. Very, very important. Because the people that you meet with, that you interact with on a day-to-day basis, determine where you end up at the end of the day. So if I relate with people who are just time wasters, I find out that at the end of the day, I'm wasting my life, because time is life. Time is life. So who are the people we are working with? Who are the people we are spending our time with? Who are the people we are, having conversations with? What are the things that are being poured into us on a day-to-day basis? Because whatever is being poured into us as a result of our connection, that is how we are going to turn out to be. So it is important that we mind this. I'm reiterating it because it is key. And then I would like to say that when we are blessed to have amazing people in our lives, we shouldn't take them for granted. That's another thing. Some people, when they have access to people, they misuse the opportunity. They begin to talk to the person anyhow. They begin to take advantage of the person. They even sometimes begin to use the person's name to enter into some places. And the other party is just wondering, why this? So we ought to be very careful. We ought to be, ensure that we are intelligent in that area when it comes to managing relationships. So yes, you have access to some meaningful relationship, but how are you handling the relationship? Are you handling it in such a way that the person that has given you access, is almost regretting the fact that he or she has given you access? Some people can't manage their emotions. Even if the person you're in a meaningful relationship with, you know, does something that you're not really happy with, you just give to the person, bam. No, you should be able to manage your emotions so that you are not allowing something little to destroy a relationship that should have been long term. Because the person you are having a relationship with, when he or she realizes that you're taking him or her for granted, such people will withdraw. And you now lose out on that amazing relationship that can give birth to other fantastic relationship beyond you. Maybe a relationship that should have transcended, to your children, to your children's children. You just truncate it out of bad behavior. Some people can't hold relationships. And if you happen to be such an individual, you need to work on yourself. When you find out that you don't hold relationships more than few weeks, more than few months, people are already, drawing back from you, there is a problem. That means you won't be able to, enjoy the dividend that comes from having meaningful relationships. Because when you have such, it opens doors even to other individuals. So if you're in a relationship with someone who is, let me use the word, powerful, and you are able to hold that relationship well, such an individual can open door to other relationships for you because over time you've proved yourself. But if you are the type that has misused opportunities, when opportunity for the person you've worked with or you've had a relationship with to introduce you to another person, you find out that the person will just hold back. The person will just hold back because he or she, will feel that, sorry, let me just, okay. He or she will feel that you are going to repeat the same thing you have done with him or her with this other person. And because the person does not want, to to destroy his or her name, he or she holds back. Because over time, you've not learned to manage the connections, the relationships that have come your way. I've been able to, mention a few things, the things that come as a result of you having meaningful relationship. You go further, you go faster. You are able to connect with other people as well that will support you on your journey. Let's not forget, we are not an island. We cannot do things by ourselves. We need people. Human beings are made for connection. And when we are blessed to have amazing people in our lives, we should guard it. We should ensure that we do all we can to keep the relationship. To keep the relationship. There's a particular place I've worked, my first place of work. I can walk in there any day, anytime, because I've learned to preserve relationship. It doesn't mean that we didn't have misunderstanding while I was there, no, but we've learned to be able to manage everything. And all the people I've worked with, at different points in time, I can always, always, always go back and ask. And they can always come back to me to also ask if there's anything I have that they need. So it's very important for all of us to be able to know that um, when we are blessed with amazing people in our lives, let's do everything we can to keep, to sustain such relationships. Very, very, very important. Because you never know when you will need the people that you have come across, that have crossed your path at some point. Never you slam the door. Never you say, I'm done. There's nothing that can, bring us together again. It is just this thing. And now that we are done today, it's done forever. No. Everything is in circle. You find out that if it's not you, maybe it's your son or your brother or your sister. We are all connected one way or the other. And if you have, let me say it in my language, tó bá ti balẹ̀ jẹ́, as in you've spoiled the whole thing, you've presented yourself in a not so good way, you find it difficult to be able to show up because you're ashamed of the way you have behaved. And I just want to also encourage someone, if you have at some point done anything shameful and you're thinking, oh, what do I do? You can always make amends. The challenge with a lot of people is they find it difficult to say, I'm sorry, to apologize sincerely. You can always make amends and not do it again. And I believe there are people that can still give you second chances, third chances. And if you're blessed to have such people, just make amends with them. Because you can never know. Never you shut the door on relationships that you have been blessed, to have with people. Is it with your parents, your siblings, your children, friends, families, acquaintances, whatever it is? When you're connected with people meaningfully, you find out that you are able to do more. You're able to do much more than if it were only you. We are in the age of collaboration. We are in the age of um, joining hands with other people and doing amazing things. I have so many things that I really want to do. And in recent times, I've made up my mind. I'll focus on that which is my core. But those other ones that I know, they are my heart to do, I'll partner with other people. If you have a company that is already doing that which is on my mind, I'll partner with you. I'll bring in my investment. I'll rather have, like my coach would say, I'd rather have 10% on something that is global than something that has not even found expression because I want to do it all by myself. So it's important that we ensure that we, you know, get ourselves connected with people and not just connected anyhow, connected meaningfully. Before you go into any relationship, like I mentioned at the beginning, why am I going into this relationship? What's the purpose of me connecting with this person? There's a particular person that I've connected with consistently for the last 2 years. Every month, every last Thursday of the month, we ensure that we connect. At some point, she's moved different countries and we connect regularly. We have our times of break, and when we're on break, we know we're on break. But we connect, and it's because it's a meaningful connection. It's on our to-do list. So we know. And what do? We compare notes, family life, business, career, our children, our husbands. you know, how do we connect and have better relationship with our husbands and things like that. And we've done it consistently for over 2 years now. And it's amazing the things that have come out of the relationship. And also we pray, yeah, because we're people of faith. So we just pray a few minutes, nothing so serious, when we're done. And that's it. And for us, that is a meaningful connection. And it's been a powerful one. that has strengthened us, that has encouraged us. We've cried as well when things were a bit, rough, were a bit difficult. We've cried together. We've supported each other. We've held each other's hands. So when we're talking about meaningful connections, it's not just only to, have fun and everything. There should be people you are able to, bear your hearts with. Any relationship wherein you are and you cannot be bare with each other, what are you doing there? And someone is putting up a front and someone is doing as if, there's no point. I've had at different times, have to say, what are we doing in this relationship? We have to define what we're doing. We have to define where we are going. If we are not clear, it's best each and every one of us retreat, you know, think about what exactly we want for ourselves and then come together if it is going to work. And if it's not going to work, by all means. But it doesn't mean that, oh, we are experiencing animosity. No, it's just that in this season of our lives, this relationship is not meaningful. This relationship is not going anywhere. And you don't have to be emotional about it. Because it's your life. It's your life. Whatever is not taking you towards where you're going, by all means, just take it off. Because you don't have two lives, so it's just one life. At least as far as I'm concerned, it's this one life. You come here, you do all you have to do. When you're gone, you're gone. So we have to ensure that every second counts. We are intentional about the people we are connecting with because of the result that we want at the end of the day. I think, Ebu, I will stop here and I would allow you to ask questions. And if we have questions online, I can always respond to that as well.
Beautiful. That was a powerful one. That was an awesome one. This is the way you're just saying it. It feels so real because that is our reality, and we need to pay attention to it. And when you got talking, I was trying to jot some things, and it occurred to me that so meaningful connection, talking about relationship, what we can gain from relationship. I was also thinking maybe because I was once in that spectrum, in
Mm,
that I was once in that state to say that I really love people. I love to be around people. But because of experiences of life, I tend not to trust anybody. At some point,
mm,
I tend not to trust anybody again to be like, let me just be on my own. And when you were talking, you said a tree does not make a forest. And I felt okay. That time I decided to be on my own, I was okay because I don't like awkwardness. I don't like fighting. I don't like strife. And I was okay. But you see, I was not moving forward. Because, and so you mentioned this as one of the things that you gain when you are in a meaningful relationship, saying that you're able to move faster, you have the right information, you're able to achieve more and all. And all this was lacking. Then I would tell myself, Holy Spirit is my friend, this person, my God is my friend, God is my dad. I was full of that.
mm.
But the truth of the matter is, there is the need to have connection with humans. And this brings me to the question, we do it. That when we want, so you talked about auditing our relationship. So in the process of auditing your relationship, you know that you don't want to move on, you don't want to go on ahead, you don't want to move on with the relationship with this person. That person is glued to you. Probably that person is gaining from you, but the person is not adding value to you. How do you now move away from that kind of relationship? Because you said we should not be emotional.
Yeah.
You're feeling for that person. So how do you do it?
Okay. Thank you so much, Ebo. Um, Everything starts from one, you knowing yourself and also the person you're dealing with. My kind of person, I'm very, very open. When I'm happy with you, you will know. When I'm not happy with you, I cannot hide. So I'm the kind of person who, when I'm in a relationship and I find out that it's not really serving me, I'll call you. I've had to do that. I'll call you. This is where I am going. And from what we are doing, I don't think we are going in the same way. Can you check yourself and see if where you are going is where we are going here? If you think it is the same place, we will check it again. And if I see that it is not still the same place, I will have to, dress, take some few steps back. I've had to do it. I speak my mind because I know that, because I also appreciate people telling me the way they feel. So it's important you know yourself and you also know the person you're having a conversation with. So if you feel the person does not want you to come, so direct, you have to find out how best to communicate with the person. But you cannot be dying because you want to keep a relationship. It is no wisdom. So you have to find how best you can communicate with that person in such a way that the person will get what you're saying at the end. Because at the end of the day, the two of you will be helped. Because if I let you know that this relationship we are in is not serving me, then you too, you step back and say, okay, what am I doing that I'm not supposed to do? Or what am I doing that, what am I not doing that I'm supposed to do? So at the end of the day, you're actually helping yourselves. But because a lot of us are used to just, because we don't want to offend people and you are hurting yourself, the hours are going, your life is going, and you are keeping a relationship that you should have spoken to yourself the truth. And the two of you are just. Because really, you may not even go your separate ways at the end of the day. It may be a wake-up call for the two of you. What exactly are we doing here? And the other party wakes up too. You wake up as well. I say, okay, let's reconvene. But because a lot of people don't want to offend people, they're hurting themselves, holding themselves down. So we need to come to a point where we know, what? This is my life. I don't have two of it. If I don't make use of it well now, it's going to be to my disadvantage. So know yourself, know the person you're having conversation with, and see how best you can pass it across to the person in such a way that there is communication, because it's important. Because if you're saying something and the other party does not get it, you have not communicated, you're just shouted or made noise. So you must be able to communicate, ensure the person gets it, and then the two of you make informed decision. It's about your life.
Hmm.
And you have to be
It's
intentional
about
about it.
your life. It's about your life. Very, very important because it's just deep. You know, you are in a relationship, you guys are not adding values to one another, and you're still there because you don't want to hurt the other person. I think the right language to use here is just mature, grow up, and know that no, this is my life. I can't continue to waste it because time is going. Very, very important. While on the other hand, you are not totally cutting the person off, you're just reducing the time you spend. And you let the person understand that, see, it seems to me that we are not on the same journey. And me, my life, I think I want to by so and so time, I want to have achieved this. And if we continue like this, you will not achieve what you want to achieve, and I will not. So that's being sincere in our conversation. And when we're doing it, we're saying it using the right language, using the right word, the right attitude. You're not being nasty, you know. And by the time the two of you are parting ways, it's not as if somebody will now ask, what happened? I didn't see you and this person. She wants to slow me down. I have allowed her. No, that's not what a friend does. You don't talk people down. I remember when Aya was talking, she talked about respecting and honoring people, irrespective of who they are. Just ensure that you're emotionally intelligent and you respect people's feelings. You cherish and respect people's feelings. And that was where you talk about don't shut the door anyhow on people. Thank you so much for this beautiful exposition. So when you were talking, I was just thinking about it that the friendly one, but I have to learn. Hmm. And I also discovered that there are some people in this category. And it's not as if they are doing it deliberately. Maybe because of their past hurts. Maybe something happened to them. And they just unconsciously, they just don't pay attention. They just shut people off. They don't know how to sustain relationships. What do you
Mm,
have to tell this kind of people? I know you mentioned that we should be intentional, but there are some people like that. That's just their life. They just don't know how to do relationship,
yeah,
and their life is somehow. So, what do you think
yeah.
such people, or how do you think we can help such people?
Okay. Thank you so much, Ebo. For people who find it difficult to sustain relationships, they need to take few steps backwards and look inward. What exactly is it with me that is making me not to be able to hold relationships? And that is where self awareness comes in. You're beginning to say, okay, I can see this trend. When I meet someone today, before I know it, in the next 3, 4 months, they have already, there's a bit of a strain in this relationship. And it has happened not once, not twice. I can't really say that I've held friendship for 10 years. What's up with me? And by the time you begin to ask such questions, you need to seek help. And there are quite a number of, people out there. I'm a coach, Ebo is a coach, and we hold people's hands, helping them to, evolve. We take them through what we call personal evolution therapy, wherein we'll be able to unearth what has happened to them, which may be while they're growing up, which may be maybe they've had some significant emotional experiences, at some point in their lives, the environment wherein they've grown up in, their upbringing, all these things come together. And before you know it, you just find out that you can't sustain relationships. Some people, out of lack of trust, as a result of where they are coming from, they just look at everybody suspiciously. And before you know it, they are misbehaving. And before you know it, people are drawing back from them and they are unable to keep meaningful, connections, meaningful relationship. So it starts from you just taking steps back and say, what's wrong with me? Why are people, drawing back, drawing away from me? There must be something. Then seek help. Seek help from life coaches. And yeah, I'm sure by the time you do that and you know your coaches go back in time to see how you've grown up and the things that has happened to you, they'll be able to trace exactly where you are. Because the truth is we are human beings and we are made for connection. So if it happens that you're not connecting, then something is wrong. You're not fulfilling the law of nature. So something is absolutely wrong somewhere,
Wow.
and it has to
Wow.
be put right here.
Wow. I'm glad we are talking about this because I know that we have people in the audience listening to us this evening that might know somebody or they are experiencing such. And I'm going to share two stories. So today I was having a conversation with a guy who said for him, in 2 weeks, if he is not able to see that person, no matter the level of connection they have had in time past, if he did not see that person for at most 30 days, 30 days is even too much, like 20 days, 2 weeks, he just forgets and disconnects to that person. I was like, oh, really? So what happened? How did it? So I started asking him questions, and he was able to relate it to when he was growing up. He was in the boarding house when his dad died. I think he said he was in JS2 or something when his dad died. And he just felt, before this person disappeared, let me just take the person off my mind. Let me just live my life. And that is how unconsciously he started using that as a defense mechanism. And
Wow.
when we got talking, I also remember that my daughter, we're still trying to work on her. I like to be vulnerable because I like that our stories are tools in our hands. We're supposed to use it to help other people. There are situations where you are stuck and you don't even know where that is. My daughter can leave, you are together and she's so lovey dovey. And when she leaves you, maybe travel or leave where you are to another place, she just forgets about you. She might not even call for days until you call her to say, babe, what happened? Check on me. And so a few months ago, we got talking and I pointed it out to her dad. Okay, her daddy pointed it out that, do you notice that if this girl leave you today, if she is with you yesterday and she had to travel to a place the following day, by the time she gets there, she forgets about everything. She forgets about where she's coming from. And when he said that, I said, oh, I noticed that too, but I have not been able to really pay attention to it, but I know that she does that. She's at home, she has to go to her cousin's place. By the time she gets to her cousin's place, you have to be calling her. She will not even call to say, mommy, how are you? Or daddy, how are you? I'm just checking on you. And so we started troubleshooting. And we discovered that when she entered JS1, she had to go into the boarding house. And so I'm saying this because we need to understand the effect of some of the things we do as parents. Some of the things we do as parents, we don't pay attention to it. We are just doing it because it's comfortable, it's convenient for us. You see, these are two stories, the guy I interacted with today and my daughter's story. And trying to link it together, saw the parenting part to it. So my daughter, when we started troubleshooting with her, she said she remembered that when she was in JS1, she entered JS1, and we had to take her to the boarding house. And when she was in the boarding house, she was always crying because the first time she was leaving the house, she has been mommy and daddy's girl. She was mommy and daddy's girl, and it was the first time she was leaving the house. And she got to the hostel. Number one, the picture of secondary school she had in mind was not what she met. She was so used to Nickelodeon movies that she felt, oh, that's secondary school where you have locker on the corridor, where you can make up, you can do everything. And so she got to school. It wasn't what she dreamt of, it wasn't what she visualized. She was she was disorganized. To now say that she did not have a daddy and mommy to discuss it with. She has strangers around her, people she does not know. And so she starts shutting down. I remember that she will cry and cry and cry, and her matron will not allow her to speak to us because they felt they are making her strong. Say, so that she will get over you on time, so that she will get over it on time. And that was how she was being damaged emotionally, and we were not paying attention to it. So we will go for visiting day. and she will cry and she will say, I don't want to stay again, And her matron will just joke about it that your daughter, every evening, she sits at the gate and she'll be crying. And I'll be like, you'd have just allow her to talk to me. And she said, no, because we want her to get used to not talking to. And so she was missing home. She was deprived of speaking to her mom. She had a lot of things. And she felt, see, if I continue like this, I'll just be harboring pain in my heart. So she
Mm.
developed this defense mechanism that let me just forget about them. When I see them, fine. If I don't see them, and she learned over time to just close up. And so when she's leaving the house to her cousin's place, to her grandma's place, she just closed up. Instead of me missing them and feeling pain, let me just close up. And so not until we started troubleshooting and we discover that, oh, wow, can you imagine the level of damage? So
Mm.
I'm saying this and citing this example so that if your parents here and you have children, let's pay attention to their emotions because this is a kind of a damage to their identity. And so we're
So,
complaining that she does not check. At times I'll be like, hey, this girl is going into the university. She won't ask after us again because
mm.
university is a different life. And so we
Mm.
need to work on her to say, no, that's not it. And she was in the boarding house from GS1 to SS3. And so when she's leaving, she just feels her mind that I'm going for another 3 months. If I have phone to call, fine. If they come for visiting day, fine. And she just closed up. That is not good emotionally. That's not a good thing. And these
It's not.
are the kind of experiences some of us have. And we say we can't keep relationships. And we say we don't have feelings for people.
Mm.
So we need to pay attention. We need to pay attention to all this when we're bringing up our children. We
Mm.
also need to go back, just like Ayo said, let's go back to think about it. Why am I like this? Let's trade, chunk it back. Do a road mapping chain. What's that thing? Do it and think about it. What happened to me? Why am I like this? Don't just say that's how I am, or people should just accept me like no. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. We all need to live a meaningful life, having meaningful connection.
It's,
Thank you so much, Ayo. It's really an educating one. Okay, so I can read comments here. Thank you so much, everyone, for this beautiful comment. Olubumi Ayani said, you can't thrive without relationships. Absolutely.
absolutely.
Absolutely. You cannot
Yeah.
thrive without relationships. Fa Oyinloye said, indeed, the boarding house causes a lot of disconnect. Yeah, between children and parents. It makes the children unhealthy, independent. Absolutely. That was exactly what happened. That was exactly what happened. It's so painful. And we say people are so they don't have emotion, they don't have feelings. Oh, what happened to them when they were growing up? And these are the
Mm.
things we need to pay attention to. We don't have to be who we are meant to be. You need to brace up. Don't say that
Mm.
is me, just accept me. That's not the way God created you. That's why you're created into a family. So we need to pay attention to it. So Ayo, for the last question before we go, when you were talking, you said when we offend people, we should be able to apologize. Should be should have the courage to apologize. I want you to talk more about the um power of saying sorry. Our egos want to come in. We are hurting. We really feel like I really wish I can say sorry. But that's just me. Just accept me like that. What do you think? Because I know it can cause a strain. So how do you want to advise or encourage us to pay attention to saying, apologizing, especially in meaningful relationship, meaningful connection?
Okay.
What are the steps to it? Thank you.
I didn't really hear you well because I think your connection is a bit it's breaking off. But if I
Okay.
get yes, if I
Okay.
hear you what I think you're trying to say, you're asking about people who have misused opportunities they had in a relationship. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yes,
and,
okay.
and and they need to apologize, to
Oh,
go
yes.
back, knowing
Right.
that that relationship is very important on their journey.
Yes, yes. So I tell people that in the first place, when you've done something wrong and you can't go back to say you're sorry, that means you have a lot to do on yourself. That means you're still the haughty type, the prideful one, you're proud and you're thinking you are larger than life. So, if at any point in time you find out that you have done what you shouldn't have done, you've mismanaged a relationship that should have taken you somewhere or taken the other party somewhere, there is nothing, there is no way to say it than for you to go back and say you're sorry. And if you're the type that is used to it, it's part of it, it's become your lifestyle, it becomes very, very easy for you to be able to go back and say, I'm sorry. And if you're blessed to know how the person that you have, that you have hurt, as it were, loves to be pacified. Great, because some people it may be I'm sorry. Some people they really want to see it in your attitude. They want to be sure that okay, you won't do it again. Some people want to hear I'm sorry and I won't do it again. Some people I'm sorry is just fine. So you need to also know how the other party wants to be pacified, how the other party, the languages of apology of the other party. It's also very important. But the bottom line is go back and say you're sorry, because you're going to save yourself a lifetime of heartaches, because you don't know the number of people that are tied to that individual, that you're just messing up the relationship all because of pride or whatever you think it is. So there is no two ways about it. If you've hurt someone, if you've mismanaged a relationship, go back, apologize, make amends, depending on whatever you have done, and ensure that you move on from there. I don't think there's any other way I can say it. If you have misbehaved, just go back and mend your ways, because of the future that is tied to that relationship, that you have not done well with at that point in time. Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. There's no other way to say than to say that just go back and apologize. And peradventure you're here, somebody has erred and you feel this person, he's the one that's supposed to apologize. You can just take the step and do it, just to allow peace to reign, knowing that the two of you have a lot. The truth of the matter is, apologizing does not reduce anything about you. It does
Oh,
not change your name. It does not change your look. Feel free. I am quick to say I'm sorry. In fact, people see it as maybe it's my weak point or something. But like I said when we start, I just don't like awkwardness. I am an intense person. I attach a lot of feelings to my relationship. Maybe that's why I don't really have plenty of it, because I cherish my relationship. I cherish my relationship. Thank you so much. It's been a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful evening. I don't know if anyone have question. Audience, Oreva, Olubumi Ayeni, Fola, do you have any question? Aduniola Afolayan, Tosin, do you have any question that you want us to talk about? Thank you so much for those that are connected to this evening's show. While we wait to see if you have questions, I will just say that thank you so, so much. Next month, we are, I can't remember the topic we're treating, another interesting one. Aya, do you want to remind us the topic we're treating next month? Can you hear me?
I You
Can
broke
you
off
hear
for a
me?
bit. No, we can't. You broke off for just a bit.
Oh, sorry, my network. So I am saying that next month we have another topic, and I can't recollect what the next topic is. I don't know if you can remember what the topic is, but anyways, you will see our flyers. We'll broadcast it. Please invite people. We want this place to
Oh,
be,
we
and
can't
that's
hear
why
what
we are
you're
making
saying.
it StreamYard show, so that we have plenty people get connected. I'm sure you know that this conversation we are having, they are not the regular conversation that people have, and we are so down to earth in this conversation. And so we learn. These are the things we need to learn, helping you to set boundaries, helping you to know how to relate with people, helping you to know how to live life. The truth of the matter is, growing up, we were so a lot of errors were told to us, and this is one of the reasons why we say, let's sit down, relax, and talk about those topics that are not common. Let's sit back, those things that successful people do daily, and the unsuccessful people do once in a while. Let's talk about it so that we'll also meet up and do all those things daily so that our life can show for it, so that our life can also can live a transformed life, an inspiring life. And I believe you agree with me that it's been an interesting one. Yes, thank you, Olanike Fashion. You say thank you for this insightful session. Yes, it's a beautiful and insightful one, and we look forward to have many more beautiful time in the Bloom Lounge, discussing inspiring topics. Thank you so much for joining in.
You.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much, Ayo. Nice having you as the guest. Right? Nice having you as a guest. Looking forward to having more
And
of
I'm
this.
really so excited about next month because
Okay.
every quarter it's our evening of gists. So we're gonna have some gists in the house next month, and I'm so
Yay.
excited at the guest that is coming. I'll keep that a secret. It's between
Okay,
us.
so what topic are we taking? What
It's
topic are we
between
taking so that people will start inviting their friends?
Yes, we'll start the adverts very very soon. But for now, let's
All
just
right.
at least for this evening, let us enjoy that.
Let's enjoy the power of meaningful connection that we have discussed.
That's
Yes,
secret.
please bring people.
Go
Let's connect. Let's
Yes,
connect. We have so many things lined up for the year. Let's connect. It's going to be an amazing and exciting time next month in the month of March, the last Thursday. Please mark it on your calendar. And thank
yeah.
you so much once again for
Thank
joining.
you for
Have a
joining.
beautiful rest of the day. We love you. We love you. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank
much for
you. Thank you, Olanike. Thank you, Fola. Thank you, Olubumi. Thank you, Oreva. Thank you, Ikuku. Ikuku. Thank you, Doris, sweetheart.
you.
Aduni. Thank you. I really appreciate you. Come on, Hunt.
And to
Thank
as
you.
many as will join, will watch the replay. Thank
Yes,
you.
yeah, true. For as many that will watch the replay, it's gonna be on the YouTube. Please
Yeah.
remember to send it to your friends. Yeah,
Mm,
send it to your friends. It's gonna be on YouTube. I
yeah.
love you so much, Olanike. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you, viewers who are just watching. If you're just watching this, thank you so much.
Thank
You're going to
you.
get a lot. And see you next month. You don't want to miss it.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Yeah. Thank you, Comfort. Thank you. And with this, we come to the end of the show, the Balance Me show for the month of February. Have a lovely evening, afternoon, morning, wherever you're watching from. Bye.
Bye.